As a K Fingers, man. How you doing, bro?
Oh, wait, I seen your name on there. Okay.
Yeah.
I seen your name. So I know a couple people there. I remember you.
Yeah, that's one.
Pleasure, man.
It's one KL Pastor Roots.
Oh, Pastor Roots. Nice.
How you doing? As a K Fingers,
This
bro.
is my son, Marcel.
What's up, son? Marcellus, how you feeling, bro? All right, now.
He's looking out for his old man. Actually, that's my oldest. That's my daughter. He's next to the other little boy. You finish some money, then. I got 8 on. Yeah, so, yeah, 8 children.
There is. Certainly.
Yeah, sometimes be opening up.
But there is.
Do you have anything upstairs?
Yeah, but my luggage bag, because I'm looking for
Okay, that's cool.
So zip it up, and I got my bag in the
All right.
car and sit there. So I do have a couple things I gotta grab.
All right.
T-A-T-I-U?
Where's Tina at? Picture, where? Juanita, where's Tina?
Running up and down the stairs.
Try to limit a little bit because I didn't want to come through a lecture and I just wanted to make it. Yeah, I was trying to blend in, but that's good. I saw one guy sleep, I'm not going to say it.
Okay. If nobody knows that, it's very interesting.
I hope so. Yeah, I enjoy it. It is crazy because
We have somebody come to us.
like last year, almost a year ago, right? Today, I'd like to have you out on the show. Be there and money and all that stuff. To get out there. So, like, well, let's figure it out. Let's see. And they're like, he was like, hey, let's can't pay for anything, but pay for your flight out. So I called him. I said, let's do it. Just don't have to make it happen. I'll just drive over. Did you go to like a resort or something like that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's where all
It was our
the
golfing resort.
yeah, that's where all the nice fancy resorts are. I live downtown.
It was very nice. We enjoyed
Fine,
it.
it is
Every day
nice.
was a great year day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And you were with the rich folks. So,
Oh my goodness.
but that's also a place to live.
No one is. I know we look alike.
The winter. I'm even retired.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if people retire in Chicago. I'm just saying.
No. No, I don't plan to. Thank you so much.
I am not.
I was
Oh, I was trying to. I'm going to your program.
thank you. What's your
All
name?
right. It's not over now.
You want it down, guys. You want it down for me.
You remember here?
Yes.
How long have you been?
Well, I just 3 years.
You went over here? Yeah, your neighbor 20 years? Oh, okay. Is that how you came here?
Where's my buddy at?
We never been here.
Oh, okay. That's good. Barbara, you said, right?
Tina, don't you go out there? Brother Randall, how you been doing, man? All right, good.
I'm worried about to celebrate your birthday at some point. I hope.
They celebrate now.
Just like so.
I hope
That's all you do.
Yeah, that's me, man. Still on a lot of little fire lately. I gotta get back to this.
Here we go. So what is that?
Me and you.
Yeah, what dad just said.
You gonna hit
Exactly. You just said,
You're saying you have a lot of trouble.
That's right. Okay, now you have. All right, now.
Oh, yeah.
Glad you guys came, man.
Oh, yes. That'll see what
something else though.
Yeah, man. I'm fully lucky you came actually while the rain was
I've been to downtown most of the time.
We saw you with downtown.
Yeah, I was like, oh well, yeah, I went there too. But I'm saying I was at like LaSalle and Chicago, like around. Like, well, Moody Bobby was hard was most ate at a place called Griddle 24. Met this guy, Theo Wright. He's actually in our group. I've never seen him before.
Theo Wright.
Theo Wright, yeah.
But he's a Christian pastor.
No, I wouldn't describe him as that. He's an MC. He's got a couple different beliefs, you know what I mean? This dude, G-Con got a load, so he was able to drive out.
Right. Yeah, man.
He had to go, though.
Call after this trip, doctor. I'm gonna hit your PayPal, man. I ain't got nothing but my card. I know you ain't got nothing but it.
Yeah, I got cash out and I got PayPal.
How are you?
But it's with the C, not a cake, right?
And you know, to be honest with you, me and Carl should get one just free.
What's that? Oh, everyone whose name in the book gets a free. That's a lot of free copies. Are you giving me a ride to Riverdale? Someone drive me out there? Then he definitely gets one. And you know what happened yesterday? At the very end? It was like, hey, anybody in this camp will take a book, I'll give you a free copy, right? And I was like, nah. And the other guy looks at me with sincere eyes, but I kind of knew he was still with this. He says, I'll take out the books. I'll read it. So I hand it to him. He takes it, throws it down right away, sits on it, steps on it, and another guy kicks it in the middle of the street.
Oh, man. No, bro.
I was like, but you broke you said you was gonna read it, you just broke the you just lied. That's why I like what's going on like that. How would you know it's getting ready?
That's why
we left it there. Somebody might pick it up.
You know, he had to do the profile and it's talking another like it's talking something.
Nah, it's more funny to me. But I'm listening.
But okay, I gotta ask you a couple of questions. This ain't about to be no debate, but I gotta have a couple of questions I got to ask you. It just wouldn't be fair to my audience. We all live.
Okay.
You recording too, Israel?
Yeah, I'm cool.
We all live.
All right, but if someone comes though,
I got
talk to them.
I'm
I'm still gonna
you
get my stuff upstairs. Go ahead.
I only got 3 questions. I got 3 questions. Like I say, you invited to the camp. You come over there after you through or whatever. I seen the situation last night. That was not what I would call proper Israelite hospitality, regardless of how you feel about somebody and their doctrine. So I just want to definitely just put a disclaimer on that.
Yeah, I know that's not how you guys get down.
Nah, we don't get down like this. So how did the debate? How did the conversation go with ITR about that? Because they pretty civil.
They were pretty cool, especially that guy from Good Samaritan.
Yeah,
he was super cool.
Pretty. I deal with Nazariah as far as our doctrine not the same, but he real civil. They don't do all that.
So we have to go back and forth.
Cool.
Nothing. I don't have nothing negative to say as far as like personal.
Right.
I have nothing negative to say. They're cool guys. I talked to him. In fact, G-Con said probably like 5 times. He's like, man, I'm so glad because we were tired.
It was a relief.
We wasn't about to go over there. I mean, we got out of the Uber to go over there, but we thought about it before we picked up the Uber. Like, man, we can do this. But once we got over there, he just said it again and again. I'm so glad we went over there because that was a much better conversation. If we would have left just the one, it would have been something else. But, so we were all glad if we went over there because there's a breath of fresh air. Now, the GMS guys, some saw that, like, oh, of course, because they're castaways and have that false doctrine. So, of course, it's a breath of fresh air. But it wasn't about their doctrine per se. It was about their demeanor. You know, we could talk to them, and they're pretty cool.
Man, look, even in the scriptures, you're supposed to be peaceful with all men, man. Even if it's somebody who you consider your enemy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now watch this though, right? I like to ask.
Hold on. She want to get a question.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Oh, thank you, guys.
You were saying
Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. That works.
okay.
Thank you very much, sister. Much
Enjoy you.
love.
Thank you.
I hope so. I'm listening.
Okay. I was listening to your seminar earlier, and I was paying attention.
I saw you look like you were, and you got there pretty much just in time.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it. I've seen a couple of them, to be honest with you. And it was one thing you said you told me to get to later, but you brought up how the Bible is not basically an ethnic detective, if you want to say it, you know, for lack of a better word.
That's not a key purpose or intention of it, yeah.
I got you. Okay, so I got a question for you. I'd like to ask you from our audience side. Is Christ's return predicated in some sort on the conditions and positions of the Israelites and the state of Israel?
You're saying, does it matter how national ethnic Israel is being before Christ comes back?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, there's times and seasons that are going to be fulfilled before the Lord returns, of course. So there's these ideas of times of the Gentiles. There's ideas of things I think that are going to happen in the church.
Right.
I mean, but God's got his timetable no matter what. It depends what you mean by that. Here's probably one big difference. I don't look at even national Israel, so I'm not a dispensationalist. I don't look at them as a centerpiece in God's program anymore. I look at the church as a centerpiece in God's program. So really more has to do with the church and what's going on. Like how much tribulation they're going to endure. When the full number, or the complete number comes in, you know, that's a scripture verse I would look to. It says, when the fullness, you know, there's ideas of like all who are elect once they're saved. And I believe that may entail a regathering of some sort, of people recognizing Jesus as Messiah, because I think that's probably most likely what it says when it says all Israel be saved.
Right.
It seems like that entails perhaps some kind of end-time revival among ethnic Israelites. But by and large, those being simply grafted into the organism that's the church. They're not doing some Israeli national ethnic thing. So sometimes people will call me a replacement theologian. I don't view it as a replacement theologian. I view it as progressive covenantalism, meaning the covenants are not all identical to each other. Yeah. So I would say it's more predicated upon God's plan for the church primarily versus what ethnic Israel over there in the Middle East needs to really do. That'd be my. I don't know if that makes sense.
So you're not okay. So to somebody that's just listening, they would probably take what you just said as natural Israel is irrelevant as it compares to the spiritual Israel side.
Yes, except now
I just got two questions.
Yeah, no, that's a good summary of it. So I'm not disagreeing per se. However, I would always add the caveat that so Christians disagree on this. Now, if you talk to the dispensationalists, like for example, Moody, where I was, it's found in the Bible. Dispensationalists, they would have a high value on what national Israel does or doesn't do. Right? I wouldn't have the same kind of view because I would have more of a covenant view, although not identical with, say, like a Presbyterian view. But within that being said, even Christians who have a covenant view, there's some disagreement about when it says all Israel was saved, what exactly does that mean? Some people just say that means the full number of the church, and I respect that interpretation of Christians, Jew and Gentile alike. Other people see that there's some kind of it seems like perhaps end times national ingathering. What doesn't it mean national? But with ethnic Jews. So there's some relevance to God's timetable, but by and large, national ethnic Israel, by and large, I would yes, it is irrelevant. Yes, by and large. Yes.
All right, okay, that's cool. So let me ask you, do you believe, for the most part, the people who claim to be Jews in Israel are exactly biblical Jews? Biblical Jews. We're talking about ethnic Jews.
They ain't biblical Jews because they ain't do what the Bible says.
Well, I mean as far as genealogy.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying.
Do you think that they are that?
Well, so who is in Israel today? If you mean the actual who's in the physical land, or do you mean people wherever?
I'm talking about physically in Israel. And I also know about the converts. Right. But we're not talking about the converts. We're talking about, for example, the Kohen. The Kohen who would consider themselves the priests and related to the ancient Levites. Would you say that their claim is, for the most part, true?
So, of course, every person's got individual cases, but from what I can tell, most people
just from what you believe.
From what I understand, most folks who have some kind of modern identification of being an ethnic Jew or ethnic Israelite, as far as saying over there in Israel, I think there's a lot of truth to some of the bloodline evidence, but because of dispersion, I think we should all recognize that doesn't mean they would look to be genetically similar to first century Jews. I doubt. Now it's possible there's some diversity within ancient Israel, but it seems the problem is I feel like these questions are not bad, but the problem is I feel like because of it involves a lot of speculation. I feel like that a person to answer truthfully or honestly. Like I doubt you had a whole bunch of dudes looking like a Woody Allen, for example, in first century Israel.
Right.
But I think first centuries would probably look like closer to what the Jews who stayed in that general region look like. So, for example, there's only like 500 left, I think, but the Yemeni Jews.
Yeah, the Yemeni Jews.
It seems highly likely that's a much closer, probably ethnic representation. Now, they have, to an extent, from what I can gather, been what you might call Arabicized to an extent. So, still, I don't think that's identical.
They're a lot darker than a lot of those.
Yeah, they are, because it's almost like this. You pass through Eastern Europe, they leave looking a little bit more like Eastern European. So remember, I hold it seems the Limba have some validity to their claims. The Limba look a lot more like their African neighbors, and yet they have genetic markers that match up with white European looking Jews. To me, that's bizarre, and I can't write off as a coincidence. Now, to me, it's not all that relevant.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So you go ahead.
I'll stop.
Now, okay, so now if you predicate this on DNA, would that mean just partial?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's and evidence, not
So would part of your evidence be the Bible? Or is that just a non-factor to decide
Depends
ethnic?
what you mean by that. If you mean to determine someone's ethnic lineage,
Yes. No, the Jews. We're dealing with just the Israelites right now.
right. Well, it depends.
Which group though?
Well,
You talking about? Because remember, I've said all the time. There's actually two people claiming to be physically Israel.
Oh yeah.
So which group?
But
are we
see, that's
talking
what I was gonna get on with the
What do you mean
DNA.
two people?
Because
Okay.
if you do the
What do you
look,
mean two people?
this is my thing. If you just, I don't know if you ever dealt with this before. But see, you're dealing with some different kind of Israelites.
Right.
I wish that could have been said at your thing.
This is a sermon. It wasn't a
I know you
round.
wasn't
Right,
ready
it was
for that.
something,
You
right,
wasn't
right.
ready for that. You know what I mean?
What?
But I'm just
Pastor requested
saying.
me to
No,
speak.
I know what you're saying now. But what I'm saying is, like, if you come from a DNA standpoint, in which I don't put much stock in.
In part,
I'm gonna be
I
quite
do
honest.
think it's
I don't put much stock in. But for those who do, then you have to look at the broader spectrum of it, right? Now, you brought up the Limba tribe. Now, what's funny is, to one looking on the outside, when they seen that, like, you made the statement of how close their DNA is to European Jews.
No, those certain markers.
Certain marks.
It's weird. They look so radically different.
They look radically different.
Have these
Now, let me
markers,
ask you a question.
and yet they're dispersed amongst the world. That I don't think that can be a coincidence.
But do you know that can also be taken? That can also be taken from the standpoint of Esau and Jacob.
Explain what you mean.
Okay. Well, being that Esau and Jacob
twin
literally
brothers.
would share the same DNA.
Yeah.
They was twin brothers.
Yeah.
But you know, we don't know. We don't have anything to say that they looked alike. For example,
we
if you
do
use
have
that.
some. So Josephus says they were identical twins.
Now I've heard
So
those people say it.
save the hairiness. And the
Okay.
Bible seems to indicate that is the case about some highly, because remember, what did Jacob have to do to make Pops think he was
He
Esau?
put on animal fur.
Yeah, he had to smell a certain way. Now this has to do with what you're doing, right? And he had to get hairy.
Yeah.
Now-
Well, you know, Elijah was hairy too, so I really don't.
No, but I'm
put
just
much
saying,
stock in
it seems like they would have. It seems like they looked alike.
Okay, so we don't know.
He was dealing with the eyes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
No,
that's,
but
And I mean,
he saw them when they were born.
if
though.
they looked similar.
Yeah,
he saw him when they was born.
yeah, he saw them when they was born.
Okay,
We know
so this my last question. I ain't gonna hold you up too long. We can really get it in at the when we go out there. But this is something that people really want to know. I know they will. I wrote these down, but I know how my audience think. First of all, I'd like to make one statement for the audience because I keep hearing this being brought up. I just heard you kind of hint around it during your seminar, vocab. But there's a misconception that Josephus said that, and you didn't say this per word, but I've heard other apologists say it, and it's a straight out historical fallacy. That Josephus said that the Israelites went into Egypt by ships. Josephus never said that.
I have every recording of it, Josephus said the Israelites went into Rome by ships, but they went into Egypt as slaves. He never once said that they went into Egypt by ships. So now that will cause a problem for somebody saying that Egypt is not a symbolic Egypt. Now, see, it can go both ways because he never once said that. People use this. So I just had to put that out there from a historical standpoint that, yes, Josephus said Israelites went into Egypt as slaves. He never said by ships. He said they went into Rome by ships. So unless they believe Rome was symbolic for Egypt, then now they got the same problem that they say the Israelites create. So I want to bring that up. But let me say this one point.
Why would they create a problem?
I'm sorry, I don't want to risk
You guys getting out of here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. We can handle this.
Are you able to, is somebody able to bring my stuff? Is that okay? You want bags?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just, but you gotta zip that one or it'll fall apart.
Okay, all right.
Thanks. You know, we'll get out of here. But
Yeah. So this is my last one.
I hear you.
About
I don't agree
Can
with
you
a problem for someone who says. Well, you said they would create a problem for someone who says Egypt's not symbolic of America, because let's say what you're saying is precise. Now, the exact quote I
don't believe
it's, and as for the rest of the multitude that were above 17 years old, he put them in bonds and sent them to Egyptian mines. There's at least slavery given. Josephus says they are going to slavery. Now, the means of transportation is simply not mentioned.
Yeah.
So it doesn't preclude or exclude ships, right? It's not mentioned.
But I just want to make that clear because people actually use this. And they actually think it says that they went into Egypt with ships when it never says it. So that's
when the Bible clearly shows that they walked out of Egypt and walked back and forth between the lands.
So I'm saying,
well, so here's another thing from the word of the Jews.
Let me say this, okay?
I got
the reason I brought this up is because I got a lot of Josephus writers, but I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't take Josephus as he got some suspect stuff too. Like even if you look at it. Right.
Yeah, he's simply doing history. Doesn't mean he's always accurate.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's not canon or anything like that.
There you go. That was the perfect.
Thank you, sir. Sorry about that.
So are you coming?
If you guys give me a way over there,
we got.
I just need to. There's food over there.
It's always food, man. That's always
food. I can buy food over there.
Yeah.
All right.
Israel eats, man.
I'm cool to go from here to there as long as they don't need anything from here. I would go over there and grab something to eat.
Got you, bro.
I'll see you guys over there.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll see you over there.
I'll see you over there too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
how far away is it? Like 20 something or something?
From right here, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see you over there too.
All right,
so.
Oh, he even got a little Israelite handshake. Did y'all peep that? He even got some shake hands.
All right, y'all, for that was watching. I'm gonna cut this off. Stay tuned. I got it on me. So stay tuned. I'm gonna charge my phone up. We're going out to what we call Vendorama. He's coming with us, and we're gonna. I'm gonna start it over again. I'm gonna do another live. So y'all tune in, everybody that I invited. I'm gonna try to invite again. All right. Grace and peace in Jesus' name. Oh, you wanna say something? Hold on.
A grandson at Western High School.
Go ahead.
I just don't know. So all Israel, I know sometimes this stuff make anger boil in you. You feel people trying to basically re-brainwash our people. Like, why would people put so much effort into disproving we're Israel? They don't put the same effort into proving that those people who claim they are Israel are Israel. Right. So I feel the anger. You know what I'm saying? You know the book right about it. Say that Jews is not. But what y'all gotta understand is we have to learn to be civil. We have to learn to be civil in these matters. Like cussing people out, talking about the Most High gonna cut your head off and all that. That's not like it doesn't get anything accomplished. You know what I'm saying? It just make us look like savages. Because let's keep it real, to be quite honest with you. Especially me being a dude who came from war. You know, it was ignorant war because I was born with my own people.
No.
It would not be a problem to get down like that. But we all know it's not time to get down like that. And we can't move until the Messiah moves. So this is just a message to my Israelite brothers. Yeah, these cats have your blood boiling. But this is going to continue to happen because the Hebrew quote-unquote Israelite movement is growing at an unstoppable rate. You're going to have more people bring more tactics to try to make you look more savage so the government can come in and do what they want to do. So all I'm saying is stop making it easy. We know we're smarter than them because we got the Most High with us. It's knowledge of God, this ain't knowledge of us. And so we about to get ready to wrap this up. We'll be catching y'all back later, and we're going to hire more footage with me and the brothers in Vocab Malone Apologies. All right, Dan, say shalom.